Hi, it's me, Ingrid ESFP, and I'm in my old apartment and I'm defrosting the refrigerator, and I felt like talking because this is such a boring job. Now, I'm using this spatula. Well, let me first tell you what happened. I was going to give back the keys to my landlord. And unfortunately, he said I did a great job on the cleaning, but I did not do a good job in knowing how to turn off the refrigerator. I turned off the freezer somehow, but I hadn't turned on the fridge, and so I'd left the fridge open, and yet I did it wrong. You were supposed to turn off some kind of thing in the hallway, which I haven't been able to do. And yeah, I've done half, I could say, but I still have half left, and I'm trying to make sure that no ice touches the floor. Today my ESFJ colleague, junior doctor, came back from working as a doctor for hire, which was terrible work apparently. So she's actually kind of happy to be back. And she's a person who likes to complain about our job, so. But I can't blame her. When you're working just to earn money as a doctor for hire, they basically exploit you. And that's the whole point of being a doctor for hire. You're not there for a long time. But I'm going to use the hairdryer 2 seconds. Okay, I used the hairdryer and I think I got to something. I can feel like a piece loosening off. I don't want to destroy this fridge. But I was using a blow dryer. I think that was a pretty smart idea of mine. If I may say that my ideas are useful, because I'm not sure about that sometimes. Okay, more hacking, I guess. There's probably a more effective way to do this, but I'm not really there for the efficacy, right? Oh, okay, I got some ice in my face, and I'm putting the ice in the sink. I think that gets there. Oh, yes, I got a chunk of ice. That's very satisfactory. Oh, yes, I did it. I did it. Here's a big chunk of ice. So anyway, my ESFJ colleague came back and we got to gossip about the rest of our colleagues. This is a job well done, you could say. And she she went to the south of Sweden where people speak funny, and she's not Swedish from the start. She's actually German and French, and Spanish. She has an even more complicated story than I have, if you can believe that. She was, she studied in Riga, in Latvia. So she's a really international person. And I like having her around. She creates some drama and such. And the thing is, she just started becoming a resident. She just started being a resident today. It was her first day as a resident, and so she had to ask me a lot of questions about what does that entail, what should I do about these things, and how do I apply to courses and everything. So I'm glad I got to be able to help her with that, and that she trusts me with these things. I also like how, like, immediately when there's a new person, she's like, I don't like that person, and she'll tell me those kinds of secrets, but like as if they're not really secrets. I mean, you know, they aren't really secrets. And meanwhile, my other ESFP colleague, the senior doctor with a tiny dog and with 5 sports cars and 16 guitars, he is on holiday, and you get 4 weeks holiday in a year, but since he's a little bit older, he gets a few days more than that. I think he gets like 5 weeks. No, you get 5 weeks, and then he gets like 6 weeks, but he doesn't use all of his days. But he usually is away for 4 weeks during the summer. It's like a guaranteed right within my workplace and in most public places in Sweden, that you have a right to 4 weeks uninterrupted vacation during the summer. Thing is, like, I'd rather not use all of my vacation days at the same time, because then that means that I have nothing for Christmas, and usually I go to my parents during the summer and at Christmas. But he doesn't have like really a great connection with his family, and he's more interested in staying at home with his dog, and then he can't leave work. He's a workaholic. Anyway, my ESFP colleague is such, I think that he has ADHD. Like, the thing is, everybody caters around him and say, oh, that's just how he is. But it's like, if I were to be as chaotic as him, I would lose my job. So because I was the daily doctor, I was supposed to sign like the results of different tests and different x-rays and stuff from different patients that were my colleagues who were on holiday or that are away on some kind of placement or something. So I go through their lists and see what they have. And some people always like have rinsed out their whole thing empty. Like there are they've checked everything before they go on holiday. But this guy had like around, I would say 50 different things that were unsigned. And it's like, and I was the first person to look into his inbox after he left. So it's not like more things had popped in. It means that there were 50 things that he hadn't looked at. And there were things on top of those 50 things that he hadn't looked at. There were things from 2023, I mean from last year, that he hadn't looked at. The earliest was maybe like last summer, so around a year back. And I was so overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that he had left like unseen, and the patients, like, they call and then they don't have, their doctor never tells them what the answer to the blood samples is, or what their x-rays are. Yeah, it's a little bit concerning. So I told my supervisor, and my supervisor told my boss. She was like, please boss, tell this guy that like he needs to get to work and actually sit down with his administration, because otherwise it's overwhelming for us. we don't know like how he wants to explain these things. I was sitting there for 3 hours out of the, well, I am the daily doctor in the morning, so I'm there. I'm working as the daily doctor 4.5 hours, but I have a lot of other things going on. Like I take all of the emergencies that happen to pop up in the morning. And I had a person who I thought had a heart attack that morning, so I did do a lot of other things. And I had everybody else's stuff to do, but I spent 3 out of those 4.5 hours just looking at his things, and I wasn't even halfway done. So I shouldn't be like having to do somebody else's work. And just because he's a senior doctor doesn't mean that like I should pick up his slack. Anyway, I think that I'm done now. I'm just wiping everything down. I just want to make sure that everything is clean once I go. And I have to give back the keys. My landlord was one of the best landlords ever. Now I have a shitty landlord, which sucks. But, and I still don't have Wi-Fi. It's been almost 2 weeks now. So I am suffering, let's just say. I'm going to just give a little bit of a wipe on the floor. There we go, no more ice pieces on the floor. And I can't use a trash can here, so I have to just pick up the stuff here. There. Okay. And unplug this, put it in the bin. Kind of funny making a video like in my old apartment. Oh, also my sleeves are completely wet. Anyway, I just wanted to comment on like how ESFPs can be at work, because I really love them and they're some of my best co-workers, but it can lead to some trouble, you know, if you get too close to them sometimes. It's like, there's the gossip, and there's the chaos, and there's the disregard for rules, and the disregard for authority. I just love how how my ESFP colleagues talk to my boss. I'm just like, yeah, I want to be like that, you know, but I am not. I am definitely a scaredy cat. Also, I have social anxiety, and that was something that I found out today. Or not found out today, it's something that I remembered today, because in front of my front door there was a pizza and a Ben & Jerry's and a Coke. And I did not ask for any home delivery. And on my floor, oh, there's a piece of ice that fell now. On my floor there are only 2 apartments. There's mine, and then there's the old lady who lives across the little hallway. And unfortunately, yeah, so I had to ring the doorbell of this lady that I have never met. And she was a chatterbox, obviously. And she was like, no, she hadn't had that either, but she'd seen the guy, the delivery guy, and the delivery guy just left it. He rang the doorbell, and she said, no, it's not for her. So then he left it in front of my door. He rang my doorbell, and I wasn't there. I wasn't home. So the pizza is currently getting cold, and the ice cream is currently melting at my new place. and I don't know what to do about that. Because I already feel very brave that I actually rang this lady's doorbell. But maybe I was like worried, like, oh, is this a gift? Or is there somebody missing their their pizza, you know? Like, I don't want somebody to be missing their pizza. But we don't know whose pizza it is, because it wasn't hers, it wasn't mine. And she had gone and tried the doorbells of the people downstairs, and it wasn't theirs either. So I told you guys about the story that I was looking, like there's a, you know, there's a place next door that is exactly the same as the place that I am in, basically. Like it's the same layout. Maybe it's supposed to be in the other building with the same layout. But who knows? Who knows who is going to eat the pizza? Anyway, I'm going to leave this open. I'm going to tell my landlord that this is done. I probably will need to leave the keys back to him tomorrow. He has been such a chill guy to have to do with. Like, he was like, oh, it's okay, just tell me when you're done with ice stuff. And he's like, I'm here until the end of the week, you know. I was like, oh, okay. I wish I could have such a chill way of looking at the world. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and that you don't need to go and defreeze a freezer. Okay, have a great day. Bye.